Okay, this video is going to be about changing the look of your WordPress website. Start to learn how to customize it. So this will be the last time I show me going through the initial steps to get in here. So just make sure you have this written down at this point, that you just go into your site. If you're not logged in, you add admin to the extension. I'm only seeing this because I have multiple sites, which is telling me I have to log out of one of my other ones, and then I have to enter in my information for this site. But the main thing is you just want to make sure you're logged in here now under admin and you're seeing this information. And then, as I said before, I like to have just a regular site on this page so I can start to see what I'm changing. So, up here everything looks okay. It's down here where this just doesn't look right. So let's go into our dashboard. We'll go to pages, and may as well just go all pages. We can see everything, and so this is the one we want to get at, is our home page. And when you roll over a page, you see these little things that you can do. So I'm going to hit edit. There's another area where you just kind of have to experiment a little bit. Like maybe if we wanted to get rid of this whole entire block, we can just kind of click, get the whole block selected and hit delete. And that looks like it got rid of the text block, not the image. So maybe if I click again, got rid of that, and then I might say, ooh, that's pretty sparse. Maybe I didn't want to do that. Probably do, but I can Command Z. And remember, when you make changes, you do need to, there's always some way to save most changes, like by hitting update over here, and sometimes when you're in another adjustment type screen, you'll have to scroll to the bottom and look for a save button. But one thing at a time. Let me Command Z back one more time. So maybe we just wanted to get rid of the text that was in here. So let's try something like that. We'll just put the cursor in here, and maybe we just want it to say welcome for now until we figure out what it's going to say. Okay, so just did a little experimenting with that. I'm going to click update. When that's updated, I'm going to go to this page here, and I'm going to refresh the browser. We can see, okay, at least that looks a little bit better. If I were making a website first and a blog secondary to the website, I might even get rid of this stuff down here. But I don't want to get rid of too much right now for demo purposes, because before this video is over, we're going to move on and we're going to talk about themes. And as long as I have a bit of content here and down here as well, it'll help you understand what shows up on themes a little bit better. So more about that in a minute. In the meantime, let's say we wanted to make a couple more changes here. We definitely want a contact page on any website. Let's see what that is looking like right now. Okay, so contact. Okay, maybe we want to customize this a little bit. Well, yeah, definitely, because this is all BS here. Now, a word of caution. Putting an email over here on a page in your website is usually a really bad idea unless you're a very, very public company, because there are things called spam bots that crawl the web and just look for email addresses to sell them to companies that are going to flood you with a bunch of garbage. So the best way, until you are that huge company, is you just use a contact form like you have here, and that requires people to put their name and their email so that you can email them back to answer their question or whatever it is, but they don't see your email when they do this. It's all taken care of behind the scenes. So without further ado, let's go in, let's make some changes to that page. So we want to get back to our dashboard here. And when you click this, it's not always real intuitive how to get back here. Sometimes you'll see something like this. It'll take you back to where you were editing, and that worked in this case. And just remember, if ever this just doesn't work out quite the way you wanted it to, just remember that you can always go back, type in your URL up here. And again, this will be the last time I'm saying this, with the admin, and since you're already signed in, it'll take you there instantly. Okay, so we're still editing pages, so we're going to go into pages here. Where the heck did you go? All pages. And this time we're going to look at editing the contact form. See what we can do here. All right, so let's see if we can get at just this. Now maybe we want to see if we can remove this whole entire bar here. Not quite that far, so let me just scroll down to here and start hitting delete. Maybe I have to do it one at a time. Okay, select column. Yeah, so this is really helpful here. You just have to click around until you get the overall big column here, and then select that and then hit delete, and that automatically moves over. And then we're going to go, let's just do some total changes here. You could change what this says here. The contact form, the way it was set up originally, was here. And what if you didn't even have a contact form to start with? Well, let's talk about that next. But first, let's update this. As soon as it updates, we'll go to our page here, hit refresh, and we can see that if we go from home to contact me, that those changes have been made. So to show you how to build a contact page from scratch, first let's get rid of this page. So we're going to just go over here, find trash, and there we go, no home page. Now let's see if there is something we had to save here. Remember earlier I was saying most of the time you have to save this stuff. So let's refresh this and see if that was an instant one. So that is an instant on WordPress, but not everything is. So after you make a change, always scroll to the bottom, look up at the top, make sure there is no save button. But usually, like removing an entity, you don't have to save, but like I said, a lot of other things you do. Okay, so now let's make a new page and let's make that contact. So how do we make a new page? And you can see they even have a tip here if you wanted to copy a page and start from there, but we're just going to start from scratch. So we're going to find the button for adding a new page. And just like we did with a post, we're going to make a page. Now you can see that you can select some different options here that'll give you, certain layouts, but we're just going to go from scratch. But this is really handy if you wanted multiple columns or you wanted an image up at the top and so on. It just gives you a good starting place. We have to go up here and click use blank layout, and now we're into the blank page. So we'll just go up here in the top, get our cursor in there and type contact. Type in our content. If we want to make any changes to it here, we are going to click one of these options, and such as alignment or whatever it is that we want to do. Once we're done there, we're going to come up here and we're going to click the add block button, and then you can see that in the block you have all the different things, and we're going to scroll down until we find a contact form. Down here is a button called form. You double click on it, brings up all the different type of forms you can put in. I'll double click on contact form, and there we go. So a lot of work to redo it. Better off just to stick with the one that you had probably, but you can see there's options for editing the form as well. After we saved our contact page and we come out to here and we do a refresh, no contact page over here. What happened? Well, let's see. If we put a / here and we put contact, because that's the name of the page, we can see that there's the new contact page we made, but it doesn't show up here. So in a future video, I'll show you how to customize menus and add any pages that you made. But I just wanted to show you that as a just a little sidebar. One more thing on pages. Let's say you don't need the about page. So how would you get rid of that? We'll go back to the dashboard. We'll go into pages. We'll go to about, and we'll trash that page. And again, I wouldn't follow along and delete all your pages right now, but I just want to show you how easy it is to get rid of this stuff. We go over here, refresh, and now that page should be gone. So just know it's easy to delete pages, it's easy to make new pages, and soon I'll show you how to make a new menu to add any pages and organize those inside of a menu. Now let's talk about changing the look drastically of your site. So right now, ours, if we go back to just a regular page, has this type of look, very simple layout with the blog at the bottom. To change the look drastically is to work with themes. So we're going to switch gears here and talk about themes right now. Okay, so to see a theme, you just go to Appearance and Themes. So let's get back here to the admin. And we'll find Appearance, Themes, and you can just pick a theme and say, all right, what would my page look like with this theme? So instead of activating that theme, you can just click on Preview. Now first I should tell you, there are a whole ton of themes you can choose from. Some of them you have to pay for, but there's a lot of free ones. So I'm just going to click on Free to limit the amount of themes that are here. And I'm going to hover over this one. If I click details, it'll tell me a little bit more about the theme. And then I can click on Preview so that I can see my site inside of here. Now, the biggest word of caution I have to give you as a web designer is beware of websites with huge headers on them. They violate the #1 rule of web design, which goes back to newspapers, which is called below the fold. You don't want all your important stuff to be below the fold. So if the person sees your site and they don't even see navigation until it's way halfway down the page or below the fold, meaning you got to scroll up to see it, that's bad design. So just think about that, but you can try out any theme. See what it looks like with the different features that you have. So this one obviously is a little bit weird with the multiple images in here, but of course we could delete this image if we really like it. Not sure that this is the best theme for me. So if I did really like this theme, I could click here and activate it, make it a permanent part of my site, but I'm just going to back arrow here and let's try out another theme. So let me just get back in here. Okay, so let's try out one with a smaller header and see if we like that one a little bit better. Now, another thing to keep in mind with themes is what can you do to the theme? How much can you change? And you really don't know until you try it out. So here's pretty close to what we already had. It looked like everything is more left justified on this particular theme. But we'll just keep on searching around here until we find one that we like. So I'm just going to back arrow, maybe try to find one without so much going on. And by the way, I hit demo there, which took me to this page, which just shows, you know, kind of like what it can do, what it can look like. But again, it's probably more important to see it with your content. So we're going to go back in here and we're going to go preview this time, which gives us a preview of it with our content in it. And just for grins, I'm going to go ahead and activate and save this theme. And now if I go over to the page itself, hit the refresh button, we can see that this is now my website with that new theme on it. So it takes a lot of experimenting, and you can see that this image here serves no purpose. And that's another thing, is I'll get a lot of students that find an image in the header that was there in the theme, and then they leave it for their actual site, which is just kind of crazy because everything on your site should be about you, especially if it's a portfolio site.